Yeah, bang bang. Well, I remember the time me, Cliff Fields, went to see Harry Starbuck at the Yorkshire Grey about getting a show going on, yeah, and sort of like he was talking, he was writing down names, Mickey May, other people, people we wanted on the bill, and then Cliff Field says to Harry Starbuck, who's going to be the top of the bill, Harry? You know what I mean? Harry Starbuck said to Cliff, how about me and you? And and Cliff laughs. He said, no, I can't fight you, Harry. But Harry can have a right fight, you know what I mean? But fair play to Cliff. He give Harry a big respect, you know. He did. He didn't take the piss out of Harry Starbuck, you know what I mean? He gave him respect. He said, no, he said, I don't want to fight you, mate. It's as easy as that. I don't want to fight you. And then he was talking about Shaka. I don't know if it's true that Shaka beat Cliff Fields. A lot of people say he did. A lot of people say it was a get-up, yeah. But Shaka used to fight Colombo nearly every week at the Yorkshire Grey. They used to have fights all the time, you know. Every Sunday dinner time with Brian Hall, you know, and that little firm, Danny Chippendale. There was always fight in the Yorkshire Greys and in places around there. And Shaka, I remember seeing Shaka at a show, I think it was Box On, but not a show I thought. And Colombo really bashed up Shaka, really bashed him up bad. Yeah, honestly. I mean, I was surprised myself that he beat him up, Colombo, bad. He beat Shaka up really, really bad. I don't know if Shaka's still about. I'd love to get Shaka if he is on a video, because Shaka, mate, was a good fighter. But as you say, you know, they said he fought Cliff Fields, he beat Cliff Fields. I don't know how true that is. I mean, on your comments, you can tell me. But when Harry was talking about Shaka coming down and all that, and then Cliff Fields' face changed. Whether that is true, I don't know about Shaka. You know, people will tell me, yeah. But yeah, Shaka. But as I say, I've seen Shaka fight Colombo quite a few times. I see Colombo fight Danny Chippendale loads of times as well. And, you know, whatever happened to Colombo, I know he died, but I'm surprised Colombo never fought Shaw or never fought Lenny McLean. Yeah, really, because, I mean, I reckon that Shaka, I'm not quite sure, but Shaka beat Lenny. I'm not quite, listen, I hear these little stories that Shaka beat Lenny as well, so check it out, yeah? He might be the odd one out, because I can remember I think Lenny lost about 7 fights out of 12 or 6 out of 12, but I remember the last one I couldn't get together, and I think it's Shaka. Yeah, Shaka that fought Lenny and beat Lenny. So check it out for me, please. But I'm not quite sure if Shaka fought Cliff Fields and beat Cliff Fields. But I don't really go Googling. I'm not into the Google because I'm not all that good. I'm a bit dyslexic in that way. It takes me a bit of time to get into this. I mean, my mate Matt Legg, I mean, he's fantastic at doing the videos, showing people other bits and pieces of people where they used to fight, live, you know, and get them. But I can't do all that. I wish I could. I wish I could, because I'd love to be able to do that, you know what I mean? But I ain't got it out there to do it. A bit thingy, you know. But I can't even speak properly sometimes. But anyway, yeah. Harry Starbuck, mate, a gentleman. He was a gentleman, mate, and you know, and I've seen him a couple of times down Harvey Social Club. I've seen him a couple of times at Cat's Whiskers Streatham, you know, and I see him at Yorkshire Greys, and I think it's called the Harrow Pub, you know, also Abbey Arms. I mean, he's proper hard man, and they're a good looking man, you know, like striking guy, you know what I mean? And I don't, you know, and he was like, I don't know, he was just one of them people, and easy to talk to, not a nasty man, easy to talk to, you know, and a lot of these fighters are quite hard to talk to. I mean, Lenny, I love Lenny, mate. I love Lenny McLean. I always talk about him, you know, and I you know, big respect to Lenny, you know what I mean? But people got me, oh, you're always running Lenny down. No, it's part of YouTube, mate. It's part of the YouTube that I do, but it's you know, Lenny was a proper man, mate. And I said I wouldn't like to fought him when he was like 21, 22 stone, because he was an animal. You know, I mean, fighting him at my weight years before, then yeah, but not later on after. I think Lenny had about 6 years off Unlicensed Fighting when he got involved with a film game, yeah. All that with was it what's his name? So Richie, is it? I forget his name. I'm getting into it. I don't even know his name. I can't his name. You know what I mean? But yeah, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Lenny McLean got into that, mate, and he was the business. I mean, he kicked off there, didn't he? I mean, he was the one that everybody wanted to see. Do you know, and another mate of mine was there, I think Paul Moriarty, another mate of mine was there, Paul Moriarty. I like Paul, mate. Me and Paul got on really well. Paul's a good actor now, yeah, like Brian Cox. Do you know, whatever happens to all them people, man, you know what I mean, all my mates, Brian Cox, I mean, I see Brian Cox sometimes on the Sunday Sat talking programmes, and I look at Brian, and you know, and I think to myself, Brian, what happened, mate? Why don't you ever talk and reply to messages that I send to you? You know what I mean? We was close, me and Brian Cox, with Jimmy Tibbet, yeah. But Brian Cox did say on one of his interviews that for gangsters and nobodies, they ain't going nowhere. But yet Brian Cox was involved with gangsters, because you'll find that most people that got equity in them days was gangsters, you know, little gangsters, everybody. You know, most of these people you see now on films, you know, most of them are gangsters, ex-gangsters, you know what I mean? And ex-boxers and fighters are all like criminals, you know, it's a joke. Yeah, mate, and they try, you know, they go straight, you know, it's, I like to see it, man. I like to see it, and then people can do good gangster film because they are gangsters, you know, like Brian Cox. You know, he does good films, and because, I mean, I see one the other day about Brian being in prison, and he comes out to his daughter, and in the end of it, he wants the guy to kill him, so the guy can get put in prison for the rest of his life and leave his daughter alone. I forget the name of the film, but it was a fantastic film. Brian plays the part really well, because Brian's, do you know, like, when you're wrapped around all these people, you know, and you know everything about prisoners, you know everything about gangsters, and he just it was fantastic, mate. He's really good. I like him a lot. What was the other ones he was in? Born Identity, Troy, all them sort of films. Yeah, mate. And me and Brian Cox was like that. It just guts me really that he doesn't get in contact with me in any shape or form. But I'm hoping that my mate, you know, when he reads my book, you know, Gary Stretch, when he reads my book, perhaps he might be able to get hold of Brian Cox for me and get him to read my book too, because my book's going to be fantastic. It's going to be the business, mate. Anyway, bang, bang, well, just like and subscribe. Good morning, yeah.